Hello and welcome to this video. On this one, I'm going to be discussing some things you can do to help your neck and shoulder area. This is going to be especially for people who either work at a computer a lot or work with their head down a lot or they're on their phone a lot, staring at the screen, that sort of thing, because we tend to get really tight in these what are called the upper trapezius muscles and just kind of generally stiff and tight in the neck. So I'll have a couple of ways that will help reverse some of those tendencies from working with the head down a lot. And so let's go ahead and get started with the first one. And the first one is just a simple trapezius stretch. And what you do with that is you can just gently, and I emphasize the word gently, you're not going to yank your head to the side, but you're gently just going to pull your head to the side, kind of let the shoulder on this side drop down, and pull over to where you can comfortably go, and hold that for about a 10 count. And then you're going to go the other way. Again, it's a gentle stretch. Drop the shoulder down and do a slow 10 count. Okay, it helps to do that. You can do this a couple different ways to get maximum benefit from it. You can either do it once or twice as kind of a set exercise routine for yourself, maybe at the beginning of the day or at the end of the day before you go to bed. And in that case, I would do multiple repetitions, maybe 3 to 5 each side as kind of a minimum amount to just kind of loosen up the shoulders and everything. The other way, which actually probably is better, is to do it periodically throughout the day, especially if you are working at a computer or something like that for hours on end. And just periodically, maybe once every 30 minutes, once every hour, at the least once every couple of hours, just take a moment, do it each side for maybe 30 seconds or so and get back to work. That's going to do a lot to keep this stuff from getting really tight on you, and it'll make your day go a lot easier. So the second one that I recommend for this is the stretching of the front of the neck for what are called the scalene muscles. And on this one, what I recommend you do is you tip your head back and then bend to the side. And you'll feel it pull on that side, on the opposite side from where you're bending. And on this one, you hold it for about 10 seconds. Bring it back to the center, bring your head level. Go back, bend to the side, and again, you'll feel it in the front of the neck there. Hold it for about 10 seconds, come back to the middle. Again, you can use this either as, do it a few times in a row as part of a daily exercise regimen, or you can use it throughout the day just to kind of loosen things up if you're going to be working a lot with your head down or working in a position that just tends to tighten things up. Now, a lot of times after you've been doing this type of stuff for years, where you are working with your head forward, you're going to tend to develop what we call a forward head posture, which is where the head kind of juts forward like this. I'll show you from the side. And when that happens, the weight of the head is now always pulling on these muscles in the shoulder. And what that does is it makes these muscles have to contract all the time. So while it's good to stretch them, it's also a good idea to do some things that'll help kind of counter that postural distortion of having the head shifted forward. So there's a couple of different ways of working with that. First one is you're just going to basically, you can do this sitting or standing. Since I'm sitting, I'm going to stay in that position. Just bring the shoulders back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Keep your head up straight. Hold it for about a 10 count, and then relax. And then repeat. Shoulders back, squeeze the shoulder blades together as tightly as you can, and then relax. What that does is it strengthens those muscles between the shoulder blades, tends to pull your upper body more upright, and gives you a little more stability in the head and neck area as well. And then there's one other that I recommend that you do for this, and it's called the head retraction exercise. I'm saying don't want a protraction, we want retraction. The head retraction exercise, or what some patients like to call the chicken neck, is where you're actually going to be pulling the head straight back into some type of resistance. And you can use a lot of different things. A couch pillow usually is a good one because it gives you a little bit of firmness to it. I know some people will do this one in the car against their headrest. That's a good one to do it with too. Generally, like a bed pillow is a little on the soft side, but you could do something like a folded up towel, something like that. So the movement I'm just going to show you here is you're going to bring the head back like this. So you start out like that and back. And you're holding that retraction backwards against resistance. Now, let me get something to use for resistance to kind of show you on the wall behind me here. So here we have a little foam roller. It's kind of squishy. I would say this is probably about like the squishiness of the average couch cushion. So I'm just going to back up here against the wall. I'm going to put this behind my head, and this can be done sitting as I'm doing it, or you can do it standing. Doesn't really matter. If you're standing, you're going to need to kind of lean against the wall a little bit. So you'll have your feet out a little bit from the wall, leaning so your back is up against it, and then you're going to press straight back. So I know that probably doesn't look like too much, but again, it's forward and back. And you're holding that contraction for about 10 seconds. And again, to show you what that movement looks like, you're starting out and forward, and you press straight back. So it's a straight back movement. You're not bending the head back. You're just going, it's almost like somebody's taking your head and sliding it straight backwards. So forward, backward, forward, backward. And you're just holding the contraction in the backward position. So hopefully that gives you something that will help you out if you are having some neck and shoulder issues. And again, something that if you're doing it throughout the day, you're probably going to get better results than just doing it once or twice as kind of an exercise regimen. But whatever you do is going to be helpful, more helpful than doing nothing. So I encourage you to do whatever works for you, and hopefully you'll get some benefit from it. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.